And once again, we are here on Living in the 21st Century. Joining me today is the Executive Director for the Commonwealth Laureate Theatre, Olga Losovskaya. Also joining me is cut that, start over, I'm sorry.
And I'm Director of Talents of the World.
And Director of Talents.
For this, not Executive Director of Commonwealth
Okay,
Theatre.
Director of Talent, okay, Director of Talents of the World, right, okay. And once again, we are here on Living in the 21st Century. Joining me today is Olga Losovskaya. She is the Executive Director of the Commonwealth Laureate Theatre. Also joining me is Giovanni Fonsanio, who is the producer for Talents of the World. Sorry, that's Director for Talents of the World. And also joining me is BB2 from Big Manatee Music. Gentlemen, thank you. Lady, thank you for joining me here on Living in the 21st Century.
Thank you very much.
Thank you all. So my first question goes out to you, Olga. Just tell me what you have going on here in Newton and this big plans about
Thank you, Errol. Yes, so next Saturday, November 18th, Newton's going to see something that they've never seen before. It's the Talents of the World Voice Competition. And the voice competition is open to anybody 18 years and older. We have no upper age limit, which makes us unique. And the applicants are professional singers and emerging professional singers who sing opera, operetta, Broadway, and song literature. Could be art song or folk song, Neapolitan song, Jewish song, any kind of song that makes your heart sing.
Excellent.
And I, as Director of Talents of the World, am very excited to be establishing this competition for the first time here in Newton. And our president and founder of Talents of the World, David Gvinianidze, who is the recipient of the United Nations Medal for promoting arts and culture in the world, he will be here as one of the judges. And we have 4 critically acclaimed, world-renowned judges in this competition. In addition to myself and to David, there is also 2 conductors, Orlando Sela and Joseph Oleferowicz. Some of you may know Joseph Oleferowicz as the dancing conductor when his video went viral 5 years ago, gathering more than 500,000 views in just a few days.
Oh, that's good.
And he's the original dancing conductor, so Google him.
Okay.
And Giovanni here is one of the tenors that sings and performs with Talents of the World, and we have wonderful, talented people. And actually, Giovanni, you also applied for our competition, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
But we're not going to say yet if you passed to the finals or not, because it's a big panel of judges who are going to be deciding, and it's a secret until November 11th when we have the deadline. So if you haven't applied, you still have 2 more days. Yet November 11th, and then we will announce the winners, the finalists, on November 14th on our website, www.talentsoftheworld.org, and then the finals following Saturday will be open to the public.
Oh, that's pretty good. That sounds pretty awesome, actually.
Thank you.
So, Giovanni, you are Director of Talents of the World. Tell me what a little bit your creating are involved with and what you actually do.
Maybe this is a prophecy. Maybe one day you'll become a director,
yes.
right?
One day maybe I'll be director.
Okay,
As of now, I'm just a participant.
Okay.
Was lucky enough to be recruited by this by wonderful Olga. I mean, it's for people like her. I want people to understand in the community that someone like Olga has given Boston a face that usually you see in New York.
Right.
A lot of classical singers are just drawn to take the bus and drive, and legitimately so, because New York offers most of the opportunities.
Yes.
But people don't know that around here there's lots and lots of talent
Yes.
that need to be exposed and cultivated. And I think that someone like Olga and the organization she belongs to, it's really, really focusing on that point. Besides everything else and the wonderful shows they put together, I mean, they are second to none. And the talent, it's also to give opportunity to young singers from the area.
Yes.
And not, not necessarily saying you have to go to New York or somewhere else to sing. There's
Right.
plenty of opportunity here.
Absolutely.
And there should be a lot more of them, promoting this type of things. Because it's quite the shows. And I invite everybody, to try and join them because it's quite something.
Yes.
Thank you, Giovanni.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Giovanni and I, we go way back.
Yes, we
we
do.
performed
Excellent.
together many times.
Nice.
And wonderful tenor, an Italian tenor. And when he sings Neapolitan songs, you can actually hear, wow, he actually understands what he's singing about because it comes through in
His
his
genes.
interpretation.
Yeah, being that's the area of Italy that I'm from,
Right.
the Naples area. And my story is a little bit, because that's why I'm always grateful to someone like
Yes.
Olga's, because I started singing at the age of 28. I
Okay.
was smoking at the time, worked in a restaurant business, and
Yes.
I was just, it started as a complete joke.
Right.
When they told me what a skill was, I was afraid to even say, sure, I know what a skill is, because I
Yes.
didn't know.
Okay.
And then from then on, just from word of mouth and auditioning, and I was able to, get connected, especially with the local communities.
Yes.
And was able to build some sort of a resume for myself, and now I find myself competing thanks to.
Well, while most of the competitions, he wouldn't even
You want to
Exactly.
qualify because
Okay.
they cut off at age 28 or 30. I think that is not a very good thing
okay.
because singing voice, it develops and you acquire all different kinds of colors in your voice
Yes.
as you grow. Of course, the young talent in their early 20s and early 30s, that's wonderful, and I'm all for it because there are some brilliant singers out there. But then what happens when you're in your late 30s or early 40s? And what about 50s? We have tenors who now are in the Metropolitan Opera. They're soloists with the Metropolitan Opera who sound as fresh as a daisy, in their upper 50s. And just we need to open our
Yes.
doors and arms to talent. If you are talented, if you are in good shape, because opera singing requires constant, everyday exercise, if you have your repertoire ready to go,
Right.
apply.
Okay. That sounds pretty good.
Absolutely.
So, BB2 and the Lemon Lines, you're the producer of this this new movement now.
Yeah.
You do your single and so forth. Tell me a little bit about your music. What was your profession, and what kind of music you actually do?
Sure, I do hip hop, pop, R&B, and a lot of folks call it Afro beats, but I call it get the la, get the low. It's I want to kind of. It's interesting what Mr. Giovanni actually talked about regarding the fact that he never knew he had the talent, and boom, man, because it was always in him, and eventually. And I love the fact that they don't have no age cut off, because that's not even a good practice that the current industry is doing. Once you get to a certain age limit, I always say if I have the opportunity, I will start Olympics for the elderly. Because the young man can run around the stadium, but it's more a challenge for an 80-year-old lady or gentleman to run the same race. And, so we need to be all involving, because we all live, and that will actually help people to live longer. But coming back to, BB02, it's ballistic baller 02, big buzz 02, big brother 02. My name is coined from Adeso 2. While I was growing up, everyone just called me O2, stylishly written O0 and the number 2. So, but then the big brother O2. Well, as far as the Lem Lines is the group that I'm, cultivating, and, if I found talents anywhere from around the world, and I audition them, and, I brand them up and make them become a part of that.
Okay.
It's just a way for me, or a formula for me to address that whole, back in the days when you have a group like the Commodores or the New Addiction or the Temptation, when they broke apart, a lot of their fans get hurt and they picking sides and all of that.
Yes.
So for me, you know, the Lamb Lines is a revolving door of collaborators. So, you know, tomorrow you may see me feature, you know, Miss Olga, yeah, or so I feature a variety of artists.
I'm all for it. Let's do it. Okay, next on BBO2 and soprano, opera soprano singing together.
Sounds a good combination.
And then, you know, the Lamb Lines actually stands for Liquid Emotion Music Line. So basically it's all about the emotion, just like, you know, you have vitamin water. So for me, I'm saying we know how to basically precipitate the kind of emotion that we're vibing or feeling when we're delivering a song.
Okay.
So so Liquid Emotion Music Line, so it's BBO2, Ballistic Ball Out 2 and the Lamb Lines, you know. And then the label, of course, is an indie label. Well, it's major in Africa, so context. So big man in the music, you know, and we're just trying to do this whole global music, real music, you know, with originality and soul there, you know, the territory of the gods, that's how I like to call it, because you can't fake that. It's not about, you know, corporate greed and all of that.
Yes.
It's about, you know, really going to the community organically and finding folks who really can, you know,
Yes.
give entertainment that is potent and have all the good characteristics, you know.
Beautiful. And what had you? What was your profession before you actually got into this kind of music?
Oh, well, for a long time here in Boston, I was mental health counselor.
Okay.
I worked for a lot of organizations as director, house manager, and all of that.
Okay.
But, you know, I've always had music since I was
Yes.
a kid. Like,
Okay.
everyone knew me. But, you know, I was actually trying to pursue a medical course like my older brother and sisters who are medical doctor in the medical field. So, but I got to a point I was like, nah, man, I don't want to do this. And my mom is like, you're too smart. What you gonna do with all your chemistry? And I'm like, but I don't want to end up in a profession that I'm not excited about.
Okay.
And I felt like I got tired of running away, you know, from my calling, you know, because in the Bible I remember, you know, I'm a Christian, you know. Jonah, God said, go do something and preach to the Nineveh, and he kept running away, and then God had a whale swallow him up. And
Okay.
so
What was the whale in your life?
I like that. So I figured, you know, where God wants you to actually be when you're there, there is safety, there is long life, there is goodness for you. So I was tired of running away from my calling. I said, okay, I'm coming back home and just do music production. That's more like what it is. And performing,
Nice.
I rap, I sing, and
Beautiful.
all of that.
Great.
Amazing.
Well, at this time, what I would love to do is highlight a little bit of the footage of what both Olga and Giovanni had brought to the table. So at this time, I would ask those in the studio to
The three
roll the footage.
tenors.
The
Three
three
tenors.
Yes.
Oh, nice.
So the three tenors are Raul Mello, Adam Klein, those are Metropolitan Opera soloists, and Benjamin Sloman. So you'll be able to hear these three tenors, well, two of the tenors, plus the third tenor will be Giovanni Formizano in Cambridge, in First Church in Cambridge on December 2nd, where we'll have Italian-American Christmas, featuring all the most beautiful and beloved melodies of Christmas, and of course the biggest hits of Italian and American melodies like Nessun Dorma and Santa Lucia and other beautiful melodies.
Excellent. So Giovanni, we just heard of this beautiful melody that just sang here
Nessun
a few
Dorma.
seconds ago. I mean, it's great. It's great. Is this the kind of music you're going to be actually bringing to the table?
Yes, well, one of the pieces, which
One
is
of the
actually
pieces, yes.
happens to be one of the most challenging, probably, in the opera. Although it's taken lightly, because it's one of those that you hear played a lot.
Yeah.
But like Olga was saying before, I mean, with the discipline and the practice, those are pieces that to really focus and to really portray as the composer wanted to. There's a lot of work going into, and I will be blessed enough to perform along the side of these gentlemen who are actually, like Olga said, Metropolitan Opera singers.
Nice.
For me, it's just an honor, and
Excellent.
No, we're very happy to have you. And we'll have also David Gvinyanidze performing. I will be performing as well. And 2 winners of our voice competition. So that's still a mystery we'll reveal
that's nice.
on November 18th.
So are those winners of this competition, they're already chosen already?
No, not yet.
Not as
So
yet.
we have this Saturday is the deadline for them to apply,
Okay.
and then it will take us 3 days to sort through
Right.
a lot of material,
Yes.
because we have a lot of really good applicants, and then we'll announce the finalists on November 14th on our website,
Okay.
talentsoftheworld.org, and then we'll have the finals,
Oh.
and you will witness it personally.
Yes.
The singers walking out and singing their best piece first, and then the judges will consult and see what is the trickiest thing that we can
Yes.
ask them to sing next. No,
Okay.
of course, no, we are very, very supportive of our singers, and we wish them all the great success. And it's going to be a very, very thrilling experience next Saturday. And the winner, the first prize winner, will go on to sing with us at Carnegie Hall. And Carnegie Hall will be on December 20th, and the tickets are already available.
Excellent.
They're at their website, carnegiehall.org.
And that's Carnegie Hall in New York.
Yes, in New York. That's one of the most famous concert halls in the world.
Yes.
And that will be 3 tenors from around the world and friends, and it will be also the greatest hits of classical and Neapolitan songs and American classics.
Okay. So BBO2, tell me, how can people reach across the social media and tap into some of your music, or even reach out to you in this case? What would you have to say concerning that?
Well, BBO2 or the BBO2, aka the man BBO2, across Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and the Big Man in actually not there, just strictly bigmaninthemusic.com or Big Man in the Music across media platform like Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and all of that.
Is this one of your?
Yeah.
You can hold it to the camera.
Yeah, it's
Take a
one of
peek at
mine.
it. Yes.
CD right there.
That's nice.
That's the new jump off we're pushing out.
So how many pieces are on this CD itself?
This is actually a single we're putting,
Okay.
pushing right now. One of the first track, that is on MTV as well, is actually Zinga Zinga Lane. There is Feeling What I Feel, open bracket and close jaw, Joor, Feeling What I Feel. And those are the 2 major ones that we're pushing right now. And immediately we just started Light You Up. So those are like 3, Light You Up, Zinga Zinga Lane, and Feeling What I Feel.
Okay. So I take it that you're performing in Africa and so forth. So it's a representative both here in U.S. and Africa.
Yeah.
What is your audience like back in Africa?
I like that, my, music is all, encompassing, all involving. I like the fact that, Giovanni have Italian background and Miss Holger have Ukraine, and that is excellent. That's where God wants us to be,
Well,
So,
I just heard you all planning something here of something very flexible and nice. I think that could be something you're making in the future.
it'll be actually, so the same way, music is a universal language,
Yes.
so I mean, I've heard a lot of music. I don't have no clue what they're saying, but I just love the vibe, the soul to it, the audience right now, you know, if you listen to these three singles I'm pushing, Singles and Galeen, you're gonna see a little bit of everything from hip hop mainly, and then pop, R&B. You know what I mean? Like a little bit of, you know, the new African flow to it. And then when you listen to Jaro, it's more like a little bit of American, but more like Niger Afrobeat, get it loud, get it low. And then when you listen to Light You Up, it's strictly all American. So, you know, because I was just showing my versatility with those three tracks, just, you know, being
No,
around.
talking about versatility. Giovanni, tell me, how does it feel to represent both America and Italian, since you have that lineage of Italian? What does it mean to you?
Well, I mean, it's funny to say because people will be like, oh, you'll be typecast in certain things because you're Italian. And realistically, I am, because, you know, a lot of teachers that I've had as well said, hey, listen, if there's a German opera out there, most likely they're not going to hire Giovanni Formisano to sing the title role of the German opera.
Exactly.
And then, you know, of course, going back to the American Italian thing as well, is there have been American Italian tenors like Sergio Franchi who are not as well as mainstream maybe as Pavarotti
Mario
was.
Lanza.
Mario Lanza. And they were, you know, they sang the popular Neapolitan songs, the operatic repertoire, and I guess they bring back that sense of pride for the Italian community. And, you know, of course, the well-known pieces like O Sole Mio, and, you know, that everybody, it's pretty much international language.
Yes.
And I feel that, you know, it really unites the two cultures, and I mean, and beyond as well. I mean, as the gentleman was saying, you know, from Africa to Ukraine to Italy, these are the music in general, I feel, it's probably the language that unites the world the most.
Yes.
And if we can, even in our little ways, take part in to make that happen, then it's a great honor, you know, for the Italian community, but I'm sure it's for the African and Ukrainian community as well.
That's
So.
Well, I'm going to ask
Well
you the same
said.
question to Olga. What it meant to be a representative in both Ukrainian and American music.
Well, I feel definitely being part of both cultures.
Yes.
I've lived in the United States for many, many years already. I came here when I was just 16 years old. I finished high school. I went to college, Middlebury College in Vermont. Then I studied at l'Institut des Sciences Politiques in France, in Paris, France, which was political science. And I was running away from music just like you, because you know, the society says music, you don't make money, music is too difficult, it's not serious, you know, you're smart, you know, I was always a excellent student, and I just couldn't get away from it. So when I came back to the United States, and I got a wonderful Italian-American professor of voice, Maria Spacagna, and she finally showed something to my technique that I was lacking, which is breath support, which is the most fundamental thing. And ironically, a lot of teachers, they don't teach that. I don't know why. The breath support should be like the first thing that teachers should be teaching. And being here since I was 16 years old, and going through high school and kind of making friends, and then going to Middlebury College and meeting my husband there, who is an American of Croatian descent, but he was born in California. I started feeling very American.
Yes.
And for a little while, I was actually detached from the Ukrainian community, because there was no Ukrainian community in New York State where I was staying. And then Middlebury College, we had the Russian-speaking community, so it was not like really Ukrainian. But then when I moved to Boston, after a few years, I accidentally stumbled upon the Ukrainian community, which was such like, I felt so at home, like a big piece of me was missing. So we definitely need to go back to our roots, to feed our souls, because when we're detached from our earth, it's like detached from electricity.
Agree 100%.
And I just am in love with the Ukrainian community here. And I've always, even when I was not involved with the Ukrainian community, for all of my concerts, I always made sure I included Ukrainian songs, because they are beautiful. They are world class, and I'm intending on singing some of those songs at Carnegie Hall,
Yes.
which is going to be my debut. And I'm very proud of my Ukrainian heritage, and at the same time I feel very American and very grateful to this country. Like our president and founder of Talents of the World, David Gvinianidze, he's constantly saying how much he's in love with the United States because it gives the opportunities and it embraces all of us. So it's a very special thing in my heart.
Excellent, excellent. And BB2, what advice would you have for any aspiring artists there in terms of the hip hop world and your form of music?
Well, you know, a lot of folks in my neighborhood who know that I'm a producer oftentimes will just approach me and tell me, oh, I know you got a studio, I can rap, let me bust a line for you. And all of that. So I'm always like laughing. I'm like, you know, why that is good. You know, we should encourage our community.
Yes.
But, you know, it is a very, especially in this 21st century, it's a very competitive business. You know, I heard from, you know, one of the Sony Record top executive, when he said that, I was like, that is just so me, it was right. Because for you to get into music business, you know, in my genre, you know, you need to critically ask yourself, are you self-dependent? Do you write, you know, I mean, original music, you know? Some DJ, you know, I have a DJ background as well. You know, I've been a DJ in Boston since 94, 95, you know. So, you know, they write off from that because you listen or heard a certain music over the years or for a long time, and there's a way you can, if you're a writer, you veer off a little bit and all of that. But starting, you know, original music like the greats, you know, Fela, Bob Marley, you know, Michael Jackson, you know, a lot of other great writers that I can't even remember to talk about right now.
Okay.
Freddie Mercury and all of that. So, you know, my thing is to make sure that you understand the music business, and if you want to maintain and stay in power, you must know how to write. Because if you're getting folks to write for you, when they don't give you that support or they don't want to write for you anymore, what are you going to do? So the basic thing for me is, do you have the calling? Okay. If you have a calling, you're going to know how to write.
Exactly.
Okay.
I'm not saying write because anyone can write a lyric.
Okay.
I'm saying write the melody.
Okay.
Because it's not fair for me to become a practicing doctor because my brothers are doctor or my father is a professor at the university.
Okay.
It's better that I have the skill and the knowledge. So the same way, I just believe reorganizing that.
Beautiful.
Well said.
Okay.
That is exactly what, through all the fields, people are saying. If you feel the calling, if you feel that you cannot do anything but sing and be, then is the time for you to be in this.
Yes. Well, absolutely. As a matter of fact, I think then, as you said before, you were deterred from singing because it never really used to pay any money. Now in this 21st century, and even before, back in the 20th century, we know that there are a lot of those who become millionaires out of singing and becoming international superstars and so forth.
Yeah.
So it's a different reality now. But having said all of that, we are down to the final minute. So I want to say thank you, Olga Lasovskaya, from Executive Director of the Commonwealth Laureate Theatre, for joining us here today.
Thank you.
And also Giovanni Formansio. Formasano, thank you.
You need to study Italian.
Yes, I need to. I want to say thank you for joining us and being a part of Talent of the World also. And I wish you all the best in your upcoming
competition and performance.
And I believe you can do it. Show the Italian genes and so forth.
Right.
And BB2, I want to also wish you all the prosperity in your endeavors.
Big shout out to Gabizi, Suki, Sukai, and all the big man in the team all over the world. Y'all already know we'll be at.
Beautiful. And for all those who have been tuned in to Living in the 21st Century, I want to say thank you and do enjoy. See you then. Bye-bye.